Dear students, welcome to Module 5, Part 2 of Public Relations subject. In this part 2, we are going to study on how any PR person or any representative for organization will be working within media. So it is very much necessary that any person need to have a good relationship with the media while transferring the information of the organization to the media people, and the media people will take that information to your target audience. So it is very much necessary that to identify the best volunteer who will be actively participating on behalf of the organization, okay, in having a good relationship with the media and media people. So this is something a very excellent way where promoting participation in ongoing work of the organization, and as well as if you want to draw your audience or a community which exactly wants to have a good relationship with the organization. So to meet or to reach those audience, this media people will be helping a lot. Okay, and working with the media from the side of organization always allows that need to have too much of awareness about the organization, what's happening in the organization, and creating that impact on bargains a lot of attention in understanding and transferring the information. So we have certain process, general process which is been accepted while working with the media. General things we people have to keep in the mind. One it starts with like how personal relationship is being established with the media, and then taking care of what exactly a media people needs. Okay, what expectations those people have from the organization side, and directly asking those people regarding the requirements of the information, how it has to be furnished, what process those people will be using it, and within reason has to be provided. Always a PR person or any representative from the organization should be very pleasant and respectful to the media people, and as well as he should be acting like a resource on behalf of the organization to the media people, media, keeping a current media log, and as well as providing a media with a very up to date information which is very much newsworthy, we say trustworthy information, which has ethics into it, and where with the confidence that media people can publish it or broadcast it. We have next something like media relation program elements we have, where what elements exactly this program of maintaining relationship with the media includes. So as I told you, people like establishing and maintaining an effective media relationship program will be adding too much of organization in developing its own relationship with the target audience. So it goes with like a plan. Okay, here we should define who are exactly our target audience and what message has to be sent to the target audience. So ultimately, the plan should involve some goals and objectives behind construction of a certain message and sending that information or message to the target audience or community who are interested into an organization. Second, it comes with the press kit, which is very much foundation for any development of a media relationship program, which usually includes like organized information in the way which is very easy for any news media to use. Something like a package which will be given to media people with a very consciously we have to develop it, or any PR has to develop it and send it to the media person where conveniently he can use it. So next comes like media list, which is something we said a shotgun approach. Okay, very most effective way where we people will be reaching our target audience. Okay, taking time to do a little research is must here. Where if you do a research and then you people construct a message, okay, construct a program along with the media people, I think that will be resulting in some good efforts. We have next like public service announcements. These are something like most common type of publicity we people can easily find into non-profit type of organization. Then we have op-ed articles. These are like give very good opportunity for anybody to comment on certain issues, okay, on that particular day, or building some recognition, okay, as an expert in the field. So that much of advertise should be there where something these type of things articles run opposite to the editorial page. Okay, next we have something letters to the editors. Okay, many papers try to publish as many letters to the editors because to get an attention of those people, and the editor should become more serious about okay this message what has been sent by certain organization from any public relation officer, that has to be considered for the print. So next press conference, usually this we people can expect when some issues happens, when disasters happen, okay, into the organization and any negative publicity happens. So if it is something negative publicity or spoiling the organization image, in such cases this press conference can be good enough to bring all the press media people at particular place and discussing about and clarifying the doubts what press media will be having. The same thing can be helpful to convert that negative publicity into a positive one. Next, we have something like media tools where people use a person sometimes. I know he will be visiting different places, different communities and talking to the community regarding that. Or sometimes we people use satellites. Okay, so we construct certain films, we edit it, we distribute those things of an organization. We want to showcase what exactly the organization is. In such cases, these media tools are very helpful. Next, we have something like press, clipping services, where these services, send thousands of newspaper, magazines, and websites where your information is previously has been published or broadcasted, and they make it into a group, and that will be shown to the related, or targeted audience, okay, regarding the product or service, and as well as the company. Next, we have something like social events, which where these are very much useful when people want to launch a new product or want to gain attention of the attention towards an organization or towards an individual. Sometimes want to make an announcement or launching something like that. And also this is something like visual that cannot be communicated via press release. So these special events can be something alternative to the press release. A trade show, as we people know that it's a very biggest opportunity for any company to showcase its products, and the related culture, uh, the ethical part of the organization can be easily showcased to the different people who will be attending that show. Even trade journalists will be also visiting that trade show, where it is the greatest opportunity for any PR person representing an organization to tell about its new product, what acquisitions have happened, what alliances those people have done, and how much those people are capable and competitive in the industry where they are operating. Next, we have photography, as it's very simple thing that getting some good photographs, and and it's something very obvious one nowadays. Nobody uses much. Okay, but for smaller organizations with the economic problem, they can use such like when it's not easy for anybody to visualize. I think these photographs can make a lot of communications, non-verbally. So next we have audio tapes, especially this is found in metro cities where people travel a lot. To make their travel very knowledgeable, or you can use that particular time, okay, where people listen to the radios at that particular time, and this is something the best situation where the organization can use with certain combination of a music into it, and then that message, those messages can be transferred to the targeted audience. Also, we have internet monitoring nowadays very widely used, on public forums. The internet technology which will be helping and gives more, uh, gives more, gives more opportunity to a targeted audience to receive a message, broadcast a message, okay, and also on those message with a related forum. We have next like committee meetings which will be held in which will be held by a responsible person into some neighborhood meetings, like very smallest areas will be covered, okay, and some little portion of the program will be taken with something like directly or indirectly which will be affecting the group of citizens who have interest into your organization. We have specialized fact it. Uh, Something what happens is like sometimes what happens when we are broadcasting, or into the print media or maybe something like into a television or video, using a video, these specialized factors will be helping any media person to fit into one page. If it is fitting into one page, certain facts and figures as an justification for whatever information has been sent by a PR person or an organization has to be backed by certain justification. So the proofs has to be given to them, though it may be in one single page. Next we have quarterly newsletter as it where for every 4 months they are going to get some for every quarterly this news will be transferred to the target audience what happened in that particular quarter. We have annual reports usually widely in all, almost with all public type of companies and where people have already invested into and they are very much interested in knowing that how the investment those people have done into the company has been utilized properly or not and how much the returns those people are gaining on the basis of the type of people do with the model. Next we have like a PR campaign measurement. So one way to create news is to conduct a survey and a reporter result. This is something like once we usually this is done before and after the this PR program, where what is exactly the behavior of the public is towards the organization, and that they will be knowing it later on. Once they know, come to know after the pre-research, okay, they run a PR program, and next they want to know that something like what happened, what changes that has been brought into the public towards the organization compared to the previous one. So next we have crisis management. Crises are not only necessarily bad. Sometimes these crises can help and people to get an attention towards the organization. Something like when it's an emergency situation gives an opportunity to reach very large number of people, creating buzz into the market. It may be good or bad, but still few things are very key in handling the crisis. Now we have something role which and technology plays into the PR nowadays, and for anybody to reach any person in the corner of the world. Now, usually PR is growing at a very faster rate because of this technology adoption into the organization. The basic thing like internet, they are going to use thing in a very effective way in reaching the greatest population compared to the past several years. Okay. Now it's a boom of an internet era where with a very little expenses okay, and with a wide variety of options available on internet allows any company to meet its customers directly and talk to them and over the click of a mouse and it's very cheapest way of reaching the target audience. Even these blogs unique and very personal communicating whatever the current and prospective customers okay and the people and providing them a certain information on that by when they are talking to the people and the conversation matters a lot no doubt and blog puts a human face on a company that is very difficult to duplicate at any way. So this is something very safest one to use it. Next we have forecast where these forecast PR professionals especially they use into metropolitan areas okay and spend of their time day in a transit especially people who this is used into your of concept they have where people are running into the metro taking too much of time in traveling and that time can be productively utilized by any PR person by reaching them. We have RSS feed even what we say it as really simple syndication. Now it's a trend for delivering the company's information is through an internet technology which is acronym as RSS, and this type of technology will be making anybody to know new content which is posted on the website. We have internet, as I told you in the previous slide, where without a complete picture of their own company, what is doing, okay, and what PR people cannot make a great, a case study suggestion, are unaware of interesting story angles to pitch to the media, and do not know all the vertical markets their company is serving. So at this time, what happens is they make it very easy. The internet makes it very easy to come out of such problems. Okay, and increasing the wide scope of reaching any customers or any target audience or a public at any corner of the world. We have externals like publishers, okay, public relations firms. They usually use this external in managing their own content workflow. Especially this is maybe within the organization use it. Okay, it will be using to publish late, breaking news, updating, making instantly available to the reporter, investors, and they all are connected to this. So we say it as extranet, which is being used between their own parties for the stakes in the organization. Okay, this uh, the module 5 as the part 1, and this is the part 2 what we are finishing it today. We have something case study after this module which can be taken by you people. I just brief up a very short go through it, and we have certain even questions also related to that which should be answered by you people. Okay, the case is like this. Please go through this, okay, and answer the questions. So once academic session starts physically, so we will be discussing on these type of cases which I will be sending you along with the modules and the presentations. Thank you.